Hello my dear crafters, Paula here. Today guys, I am so in love with this project today. I actually saw this first at a YouTube channel called My Sister's Scrapper, and she makes beautiful folios, she makes beautiful mini albums, and this is where I learned it. I want to make sure to give it credit, and I'll have the link below to her channel. It's a wonderful YouTube channel. And I decided that this would be a perfect project for Valentine's, and that's what this second one is, and that's what we're going to make together today. But I want to show you what it looks like inside, okay? I'll show you both, but I'll start with the one we're making together. So here is the cover. It says you are loved. I have a little hearts here for you. So that's the cover, and when you open, guys, look at that. I made some changes to hers. She has something different here on the left side, but the basic thing is that you're going to give someone you love the opportunity to print those pictures and use this as an album, as a picture photo album. So you have space here for 15 pictures. So 7 flaps. And you can put pictures here and here, and you can add another one here. And what I did was I added this that can serve as a note. This is where you're going to write a beautiful message to your loved one, or you can actually add a card here too if you want, but that was my option. She has something different here on the left, but look at these, guys. Isn't this beautiful? And I want to give you 2 ideas on how to use it. You can either give it as a gift, of course, but wouldn't it be perfect? It's a perfect way to celebrate a relationship, a friend, for example. And that's what I'm going to do with the next one that I will show you. I'm going to send it to my best friend, and I'm going to select 14 or even less, because you can use this space here to write notes. Maybe you can make a comment about this picture, or remember that day, or something that is related to the picture. You don't have to have a picture on every flap. You can just make funny notes or something that is a reference to the picture, but it's a beautiful way to celebrate a relationship. It's here's what we've been through and what we shared all over the years. Isn't that a wonderful gift? And then of course you write here beautiful note, and then they'll keep this forever, and something that you made specifically for them. Let me show you the second one that I made. That's the one that I'm giving my best friend. And I'm going to do exactly what I just told you. I'm going to have pictures here. I have this beautiful insert where I'm going to write a note to her. See, I did it differently here too. Instead of having something on a pocket on the side here, I had a pocket in the bottom here, see? And then the insert goes in like that. But same thing here, it's the same thing. The only difference is that the corner is different. So, I stamped just a little camera, just so they know what it's like, what it's for. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to select pictures of me and my friend all over the plus 30 year plus friendship that we have. And I'm going to send this to her as a gift for Valentine's Day. Isn't that wonderful? I'm just looking at the color scheme here and I'm thinking, this is great for kids, isn't it? But that's another idea. So use it whichever way you want, but let's start the tutorial. It's not complicated at all. I used chipboard for the cover. You will love to make this. I'm sure you will. So let's move to the tutorial, okay? Okay, so we are going to start with the cover, which means this part here, okay? And that's chipboard. We're going to use medium weight chipboard, and if you don't have any, guys, I have the link below for you, so you can find the one that I use. So you are going to need 3 pieces. In a one sheet, these pieces come in 12 by 12, so in one sheet you get all of these. So the sizes are 8.5 inches by 4.5, and this one is 8.5 by 3/4 of an inch. So that's the chipboard that you need, plus the paper that we're going to use, this beautiful bird paper. So this one, let me see, the size is 12, so it's 12 inches by 10.5. And what we're going to do, just to make it easy, we're going to score it at 7/8 of an inch. This is going to help when you put the chipboard to just fold the paper. So this is, and one tip for you guys is that I hardly ever use cardstock when I'm working with, you can use cardstock, but I would rather use paper because they don't break as easily as cardstock does, because you will see that we're going to bend it. So I would not use cardstock. I've done that in the past, but I like to cover chipboard with paper because it just folds more easily and it doesn't break the paper as easily either. So I was just going to fold this really quickly. This will just help, and you see what I mean by that. This will help when you place your chipboard, but you don't have to do that. You really don't. But I think that it just helps to have like these lines as a guide, because here's what you're going to do. You use, every time you use chipboard, guys, you can use liquid glue if you want, but I don't like it because of the bubbles. Sometimes you don't get it spread so evenly. So use double-sided tape. It's much better. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna place the first one in. See how it helps know where you're going to place it. You're going to glue one here, the other one here. I usually, what I do is I place this one first, because see how far this is. It doesn't need to go that far. Here, what you leave is about 1/8 of an inch of a distance. So that's what you're going to do. You're just going to glue these three together like that. So let's do that. So I'm just going to play some songs or something, just accelerate the video because you do not need to see me doing this, honestly. Okay, so I'm back. I removed the double-sided tape, but you can see that's why it's so good to use double-sided tape, because you make sure that there are no bubbles. So what I'm going to do, and that's what this line here is good for, because it helps you know where to align your chipboard. So I'm just gonna put this here. There you go. Just press it in. That's good. And now let's put the spine. Here, the distance, usually I do 1/8 of an inch. So I'm just gonna turn the paper because it's easier for me to do it this way. That's a good distance there. And now the second large piece of chipboard. Same thing, like 1/8 of an inch of a distance. That's a good one. Make sure that it's really well aligned. And there you are. We are done with this. And here's what we're gonna do. The next thing is you're going to cut it like the corners here, and to make sure that you leave 1/8 of an inch of a distance here, okay? So I don't have my big, I'm actually going to go and get my big scissors because this one is not very good for that. Okay, I got a good one now. So there you are. You just cut it straight like this, leaving 1/8 of an inch. See the distance? Same thing on all corners, like that. Last one. Okay, so now that this is done, all you need to do now is to glue and work a little bit your paper. Make sure to always kind of tell your paper what you're gonna do, and you do that by, you don't just press it down and fold it really rough. Always work your paper a little bit, because papers are made of fiber, and once you tell them, oh, here's what I'm doing, I'm going to fold you, then you don't have as many risks of ruining your paper and cracking the paper. So there you are, this is done. And here I'm going to use liquid glue. I usually also use double-sided tape here, but I'm going to do the top part first, okay? But just for the sake of the video, it's faster. We're going to use liquid glue. So we are going to press it down really well. There you are. You can use either double-sided tape or liquid glue. I always put a little bit right here on the border, because I think it looks neater when you do that. Again, you don't have, and if you find that you have a little bit of paper here, just press it down like the corners, and that, oh, I should have done let's do the bottom first. That's what you should have done anyway. You do the bottom and the top part, like the longer ones, and then you do the side parts. So there you go. Again, here, if you have a little bit of paper, just press it down, and then we're going to fold it. It's really, really perfect here. Use your bone folder to make sure that it's all good. Now the last part, again, always come here and kind of press it down. Let me show you closer. It has just a little tiny bit of paper, but it doesn't hurt. It makes the corner, when you fold it, it makes it look nicer. And really, I'll show you the end result, and you see how perfect it is. So there you go. We're going to just press it down. There you are. Perfect. It's really, really nice. You know, I always press a little bit of the corners, but look how perfect this is. See? So 1/8 of an inch that you leave on all sides. So we have this done. All we do now is we're going to, again, slowly just tell your paper that here's what we're doing. We're going to move this around a little bit. Press it down. We use our bone folders just to go down here and crease it a little bit. So it's perfect now. Look at that. Straight and the way it's supposed to be. So this way, right? So now what you need is to cover this area. And again, I'm going to put double-sided tape here to make sure that we don't have any bubbles, okay? And I'll be back. Okay, so I have double-sided tape all over the board here. And also the piece of paper that I'm going to place here, I put it just around a thin one, just to make sure that everything is properly glued. But before I do that, guys, I've had a lot of comments one time when I had one of my videos about cutting and using chipboard. And here is something that I really recommend. Do you see this? This is actually a tool. If you're not sure of the distance that you leave here, all you do is just insert this and you cut here, and it leaves the perfect, see how it's a triangle for the corners, and when you insert it on the corner and you cut straight through, you have the perfect distance. This really helps. I'm trying to show it really helped me in the beginning. I used it. I still do sometimes, but now I'm more used to it. So I really, really recommend this tool. It's cool, it's inexpensive, and I'll have the link below, okay? So here we are. we're going to place the inside this paper here, just so you know, it's 9 5/8 of an inch by 8 1/8 of an inch. Let me see if I can avoid disaster here. That's one disadvantage of using double-sided tape when it's good quality, because by mistake I just let the paper touch it, and it's really hard now to remove. There you go. I think I avoided disaster. There you go. Saved by the bell, but we have to make sure to press this down. It's very sticky because it's a good quality double-sided tape. So this paper here is 9 5/8 by 8 1/8 of an inch. So all you're going to do is to make sure that it's aligned. Right here. You know what? I'm gonna turn around and do it this way because we're going to have the waterfall on the right side, and that's gonna cover the paper that's a little bit smashed right now. So there you go. Just press it down. Make sure that it's glued. The corners of, I use my bone folder for that. Can't believe I avoided this disaster. I was so worried about it, guys. So let me just cut this because I think there's a little piece of glue here. Even though I'm going to cover this part, but I want to make sure that this doesn't show. There you go. That's good. So yeah, so now what we're going to do again, remember what we did with the paper. We're going to slowly use your bone folder for that. Let the paper know that this is a fold. So just use your bone folder for that and slowly close it like this, and you have the outside part of your folio or of your photo album. So there you are. Don't worry about the dimensions, okay, because I'll have it all below. So now that we have this part done, we're going to take care of the waterfall, okay? The waterfall is really simple to do. So let's move on to the waterfall. So for the waterfall, I'm going to look at I have a cheat sheet here to know the dimensions. So what you need for the waterfall is 7 pieces of paper that are 4 by 4.5. So let me show you, because I have 7 already done here, because I didn't want to waste time doing all of them. But what you need is 7 pieces of paper that are 4.5 by 4. And what you do is, here is the one that I haven't made because I want to show you how. Something's happening with my camera. It's not focusing. Okay, camera fixed. So you're going to, the flaps are, as I said, 4.5 by 4. So on the 4.5 side, you're going to score at 4. And that's that. The other thing that I did was to round the corners here using my wonderful corner rounder. And I'm going to do the same to the paper. And the papers are 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, okay? That's 1, 2. So I get these little tiny papers here. And all you need to do now is just fold it and glue the paper. So that's how you do the flaps. It's very easy. Next, what I'm going to show you is how to put the waterfall together. It's very, very simple. That's one side. Done. Let's do the others. And some people don't do both sides, but I think it helps it be more sturdier, and I like to decorate it. So I do think that it makes a difference. So when you flap it up, you see both sides are decorated. So now let's move to the next step, okay? So I have made kind of a mistake, and I did record something that is really simple, which is the next step. Do you see on the right side where I have this pink base piece of paper? So that's all I did. That's all I didn't record. You're just going to glue a base for the waterfall. Do you see on the right the pink piece of paper, which is 7 3/4 by 4, and then you align the first waterfall flap to the top of that paper. That's it. Basically, after that, it's what you're seeing right now. You're going to just keep going down and gluing all the flaps and do it very closely. Don't leave like a space between one and the next because you don't want the paper showing. So basically what you do with the waterfall is you place the first one on the top, aligned on the top of the base, the pink piece of paper, and then you just keep pressing it down and going down and making sure that it's well positioned, that is aligned to the right and to the left. And that's why the paper is 7 3/4 by 4, because remember that's how wide the flap is. It's 4 inches. So that's why it's perfect. It looks perfect. And that's what you do. You just keep going down until you reach the last one. So here we are. I have finished our beautiful waterfall. Look at that. This is what it looks like. And the other, let me show you the 15th piece of paper. Remember that I said we need 14 for the flaps, but then we have this last one here. When you open, there's nothing here. So I like to cover that part too. So instead of 14, you need 15. The next decoration thing that I really love to do, that's up to you. It's, it's optional, but I cut these strips of paper that are 3 3/4 inches by 3/8 of an inch, and I place them here because I just think it looks nicer if you have more. It's a little piece of decoration. It can be red, that's fine if that's what you prefer, but I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you the end result and how nice it looks. Okay, let me show you what it looks like when you do add this strips of paper here. It does make a difference, doesn't it, guys? I do think it does. And you need 7 pieces of those. Okay, don't worry, I have all these dimensions in the description below. Last thing we're going to do is to insert this piece of paper here. It's going to serve as a pocket. So let's do that. And just so you know, if you're writing, because that's how I do when I watch something, I just write down whenever the person gives the dimension. I'm just gonna look here. Okay, so the size of this paper, the outside one is 8 inches by 1.5, and the small one, because that's for the red, the small one is 7 3/4 by 1 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so make sure to just put glue here right on the border. That's all you need because it's a pocket. Do not put, I did that in another tutorial, if you remember. I made that mistake. And you're going to align it right here where the paper is. Line it on the left, top and bottom, okay, because it is the same height as this. So there you are, it's perfectly positioned. Just press it down. You're gonna have to wait a little bit just for it to glue, because you're going to insert this, and the insert here is the outside, the bigger one, the outside that makes the outline is 6 inches by 4 1/4, and the inside, the pink one, is 5 by 4. Okay, and I actually just realized I should have put this here on the right because it's going like this, not like that, but that's fine. And that's what to do. You're just going to insert. This is going to serve as a note. You write a note to your loved one. You can also use this because it's tall enough to insert a card if you want. But that's our beautiful photo album done. All I need to do now is to actually work on the cover, and I will do that. It's what I did was I have these 2 pieces of paper this goes in front like this, and then I'm going to decorate it. And just so you know, let me give you the dimensions for that. You are going to have the mat, yeah. So this is, let me find it. Oh, I have so many things here. You know what? I have a, why did I not do that before? So 4 1/4 by 8 1/4, okay? So that's how big it is. It just leaves a very thin outline here. And then I'm going to decorate it. I have another one for the back because we are going to add some ribbon. I'm going to go get the ribbon, come back, and we're going to do this together because I want to show you how to insert the ribbon, okay? What you need to do is always remember to, I'm going to eyeball where the ribbon is gonna go. So it's right in the middle, so just make sure that it's well positioned. So there you are. Put the ribbon first because this is going to cover it, okay? I think I'm going to close it because it makes it easier for us to place this correctly. Okay, now we're going to glue. I really loved using these photo corners here. It's actually one of the paper punches that I use the most. I love using photo corners, and I have a paper punch that does that, so you can do whatever color you want. You don't depend on buying those and finding the colors you want. So there we are. I'll have the link to the paper punch if I find it, because it's an old one. It's a Martha Stewart, one of those little ones that she has. So I'm gonna open that just to make it easier for me to press it down. Let's embellish now. I have a few things here that I want to use. Let me just make sure that everything is in place. Don't forget to put the ribbon first, guys. I always say that. I know that I'm repetitive when it comes to that, but I think it's trauma because I've done it so many times. And then what I do, but there's always a way to fix it. What I do when I forget to put the ribbon first, guys, is to actually just add another mat. That solves the problem. I made this beautiful for you. I cut this frame here with the die that I have, but what I want to do is place this here. So I'm going to place the heart first. You have to have hearts. It's a Valentine thing, right? So you always gotta have a heart. You are loved. I love this. It says you are loved. And now the last thing I'm gonna use, yeah, this is good, is this little frame here. And then all we need to do is put the other one on the back and we're done. You are loved. I'm gonna just put it at an angle like that. I have some little tiny hearts that I'm going to just place around. I'm gonna find some places for it. I have red and I have gold, so I'm just gonna use some because I think it's a Valentine's photo thing. I'm just gonna put some more here on the bottom. I think 3 is good. So there we are. It's all decorated for you and you are loved. And the last thing we're gonna do is just place this at the back. Again, don't forget your ribbon, and I'm just going to kind of align it with that. There you go. We're almost done. Isn't this a fun project to make, guys? And once you get addicted to it. I have been making these lately. And the other one that I showed in the beginning, that's gonna go to my best friend. But it's a great present for you to give to yourself, because when you give it to someone you love, you're also giving it to yourself, because it makes you feel so good. And to just celebrate a relationship. Print those pictures that you have on your phone. Select a few that are, that tell the story of your friendship and whatever that is, your relationship, and give this to someone you love. You feel so happy about it. So here we are, we're done with our beautiful project. It's ready. It has a beautiful ribbon. Do you like it? I would love to hear your comments, guys. Let me know what you think, and if you're ready to make one. So here is the other one. Again, very different color combination, but the same thing. Thank you so much again for spending your time with me. And please do leave your comments and send it to your friends, because there's so many people now going through their paper and saying, what should I do? It's Valentine's. But don't do that just for Valentine's. It can be a gift for, birthday, Christmas. Can you imagine? Christmas would be perfect. So thank you so much, you guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.